Hello, I'm here today to talk to you for just a couple minutes about something that's in all of our diets. I wanted to talk to you today about sugar. I learned some really cool facts about sugar. In 1800, the average person ate 5 pounds of sugar a year. Today, the average person eats 152 pounds of sugar a year. That's a huge increase. Manufacturers of processed foods are pumping sugar into everything, from ketchup to spaghetti sauce. Our products are being filled with sugar. And the effects of that on our overall health are very bad. I saw a headline for an article today and it said, "What's cancer's favorite food?" And it was sugar. The more sugar that we're stuffing into our systems, our body can't process it all. And so it's stored as fat and goes to our liver. It causes a condition called insulin resistance. And that's linked to all sorts of chronic disease, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and cancer. And if y'all know me and you know my heart, you know my desire is that we are stewarding well the health that we've been given and the bodies that God has given us. So I wanted to teach you a few things that I learned that are just so cool and may help you in your individual journeys. So I have here for you some typical items that we would keep in our kitchens so that you can see the sugar content. I have 2 kids and they love juice. They're 3 and 5. We still water down their juice, but they still have juice every day. I learned that in 1 serving of this apple juice, there are 9.75 teaspoons of sugar in 1 glass. 9.75 teaspoons. In grape juice, there are 10, and in some brands they're as high as 11 teaspoons of sugar. So just so you kind of know what that looks like, this glass right here holds 6 teaspoons of sugar. So when I pour my kids 1 cup, which is this size, I'm basically putting 2 glassfuls of sugar into their systems. I didn't realize that. Maybe y'all did. I didn't realize that much per cup of juice. So that was crazy to me. The next thing a lot of people talk about is they really love a soft drink. They can't give up their soft drinks. So I started investigating soft drinks. And we know that the type of sugar in soft drinks is typically high fructose corn syrup. And that's a whole other level of danger for our bodies. Our bodies do not recognize high fructose corn syrup and they don't know what to do with it. So when we drink it and put it into our systems, it switches off our natural appetite control. So we no longer know that we're full. So we continue to drink things such as this. One book that I read equated high fructose corn syrup to an IV pump that's sending fat straight to your gut. So just so you know that little piece of information. So in 1 serving of Sprite, which is a 12-ounce serving according to their bottle, there are 9 teaspoons of sugar. So that's a glass and a half, like I showed you earlier of this. That'd be a glass and a half of sugar. Mountain Dew was next in line, and in 1 bottle, this bottle, there are 20.25 teaspoons. So picture yourself with your little teaspoon taking a glass and putting in 20 teaspoons of sugar. That's crazy. And Sundrop was the highest that I found per 12 ounces. So a smaller serving than this. It's a cup and a half. There's 11 teaspoons of sugar. When we put this into our bodies, we start to crave it. And so when you have a little bit, your blood sugar spikes, then it crashes, and you want more. Guys, this is really, really hard on our systems. I read that people who have 1 20-ounce soda a day increase their risk of obesity by 60. And it increases women's risk of diabetes by 80%. This is not food, right? So the quicker we can work to get this out of our systems, the better off we are. People say, well, I'll just drink a diet drink because then I save my calories. But those have dangers as well. Diet drinks are full of artificial sweeteners, which statistically, scientifically have been proven increase our cravings, increase weight gain, increase the rate of type 2 diabetes, and are proven to be addictive in our systems. Those that drink 2 diet drinks a day are statistically 33% more likely to have type 2 diabetes. And if you have 3 a day, it's 66% more likely to have type 2 diabetes. Artificial sweeteners contain mold inhibitors that cause cell damage and destroy DNA, and their level of acidity is comparable to the acidity levels in battery acid. So I give you that warning as well. Artificial sweeteners are hard for our system to handle. So a diet soft drink is not always the answer. Just some other items that my kids love that I thought would help you to know. People do not think of ketchup or spaghetti sauce as a significant source of sugar, but it is. Per serving of ketchup, which is 1 tablespoon, there's an entire teaspoon of sugar. So for every tablespoon, there's a teaspoon of sugar. 20 teaspoons of sugar go into every bottle of this kind. And we buy the high fructose corn syrup free version. It still has 20 teaspoons of sugar. In spaghetti sauce, per a half cup serving, there's more than 2 teaspoons of sugar. And in a jar, there's almost 12 teaspoons of sugar. So that's, people think, well, it's fat-free or it only has 90 calories. It's still full of sugar. So check your labels. Every 4 grams of sugar on your label is equal to 1 teaspoon. So that's how you can learn to read those labels. My kids beg me for Pop-Tarts, and I typically don't go there, but I bought some to show you this. In 1 pack of Pop-Tarts, which is the 2, if you eat 2 of them, there are 8 teaspoons of sugar. So some people think, well, I'm giving my kid a Pop-Tart. That's pretty good for them. There's not that many calories. If you're counting your calories, there's 8 teaspoons of sugar in Pop-Tarts. And it's not just sugar, it's high fructose corn syrup. And if you can see, you can't see it, but there's about 50 ingredients in this product. If there's more than about 5, we know that it's highly processed and it probably shouldn't be in our bodies, especially not in our children's. So that's Pop-Tarts. My daughter begged me for jelly beans this week. In 14 jelly beans, right? So this size right here, there is over 8 teaspoons of sugar. So to make 14 jelly beans, there are 8 teaspoons worth of sugar. In this bag, which is what most kids would eat at a sitting, 50, that's 50 teaspoons of sugar. We put this in our bodies. It is no wonder we are sick as a society. You know, America is the fattest nation in the world. I saw a statistic yesterday that said 34% of Americans are obese. 70% are overweight. So the sugar we're eating is directly linked to that. 75% of chronic disease is preventable. A big portion of that is our nutrition. So when we go to the movies, my kids like to pick a box of candy like these. I love them. Super delicious. But per box, this is how much sugar is in it. 25 teaspoons. So when you feed your child a box of Junior Mints and think, oh, it's just a little treat at the movies, this is how much sugar you're dumping into their body. Grape jelly. We know jelly is a high sugar product, so I bought reduced sugar. In this bottle, there are 39 teaspoons of sugar. In the reduced sugar version, it's this much sugar if you can't see it. For the regular product, if I wouldn't have bought reduced sugar, this much of the bottle would be filled just with sugar. So jelly is super, super full of sugar. Pancake syrup, if that's something that your family enjoys from time to time. Per serving, there's 6 teaspoons of sugar. So every time you squirt that on your pancake, you're squirting on 6 1/4 teaspoons of sugar. Chocolate milk is one of my kids' favorite treats when we get a Happy Meal. In this one bottle, there's 5.5 teaspoons of sugar. And some people think it says fat-free, that means healthy. Well, really, it's still got the sugar in it. And sometimes fat-free or low-fat has more sugar to make up the difference in the taste. So every time I give them this, they're drinking this. And then Frosted Flakes, in this serving size, there's 5 teaspoons of sugar. Guys, I know that it's not possible to eliminate all sugars from your diet right away, but sometimes knowledge is power. And so if you know that when you sit down and you drink a Sundrop, you're putting the equivalent of 11, almost 12 teaspoons of sugar in your body, it may help you make a better decision. So my goal for you is always is that you pick one healthy habit and we tackle it and we go for it and we get really good at it. And sugar doesn't have to be your habit right now. I want you to pick somewhere where you are and start on that. But eventually, let's work on monitoring our sugar. Sugar is affecting our health. And you'll feel better when you get it out of your diet. Thanks. Have a great day.